The story of lunar exploration started with one man. A man with a dream.
One of these days, Alice, bang, zoom, straight to the moon.
Wow. I never realized the first astronauts were so fat.
That's not an astronaut, it's a TV comedian. And he was just using space travel as a metaphor for beating his wife.
There's a moon in the sky. It's called the moon. And everybody is there. Hooting. Saturn! Saturn!
Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them. This season, a title fight is brewing. That's right, Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is the clone of my prior co-host, Joe Vekeman.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Is that three of you?
Yeah, there's three of me now.
There are many clones of you.
Hi. Hey.
And on the audio board is Lev Van Rensselaer reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is Domino's Tricks, for those who love pizza and being a little naughty. All right, Joe, what movie are we doing this week? Proudly sponsored by Tubi.
We watched The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Yes, never had a Tubi movie Tubi'd so hard.
That's okay. I don't know if you saw my review for this movie.
I did not. What happened in this movie?
Okay, I'll tell you. In the future, a man struggles to keep his lunar nightclub out of the hands of the mafia. Wow, what a setup.
So what, your review on Letterboxd, was it you just simping for the Quaid clan?
No, I'm not. That's simping for the Quaid clan. What?
You've been on young Quaid all like the last 2 weeks talking about how charming and delightful he
I
is.
fucking forgot that that's his fucking uncle. Wow.
Yeah.
Did not put that together until just this moment, that he does have an uncle who is a crazy man.
We had Randy Quaid on the podcast before.
Yeah, but maybe I wasn't super into Jack back then. Wow. I mean, Jack Nicholson, of course, but
but we've also had Dennis Quaid on the podcast, and you talked about how sexy he was.
He is very sexy. But I think Jack takes them all.
Okay.
Jack Quaid.
Well, he is significantly younger than all of them.
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
My review on Letterboxd of this movie, when I watched it, was...
Spoilers.
Going to tell you...
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Daddy's coming to defend this trashterpiece. Yeah. This was fun! This is way better, because I hadn't seen it before, and I was like, this is bad, but I had your syndrome, where I was like, oh, it's kind of okay.
You came in with the right attitude. You said, you know what? Everyone says it's awful. I'm expecting the worst. And you know what? Watchable.
You know what? Not bad. I wouldn't mind seeing Jay Moore as Tony Francis. He had a pretty big plot line.
Jay Moore, soon to be star of the forgotten sitcom Gary Unmarried.
Oh, of course.
He starts season 1 off as a painter, blue-collar kind of house painter, and then for some reason in season 2, he works at a radio station, and it does like the Frasier thing. Don't know why that happened.
Jay Moore's making a comeback.
Is he?
No.
I haven't heard anything about Jay Moore in 15 years.
He's been on a bunch of episodes of 2024 sitcoms, though. Have you ever heard of Powder Pup?
Nope.
You heard of Sweet Dreams?
Are these sitcoms or are these like cartoons?
Mr. Bertram? Max Dragon? Holy Cash? Bull Run? These are all 2024 sitcoms that he was in. Or, maybe like...
I think they're cartoons.
Bull Run is actually a hour and 37 feature film.
Oh, the Battle of Bull Run, do you think? Do you think it's a feature film or a feature documentary?
It's a feature film. Never heard of anyone else in the movie. Sounds like a good sign. Yeah, how could we forget his 2019 turn as Sidney Flo in Paparazzi? It looks like it's about a dog.
All right, well, nobody's come here for Jay Moore, Joe.
Nobody's coming here for Jay Moore?
Nobody has come here for Jay Moore.
In his, what was he, an Irish crooner? What was he?
He was a Scottish crooner.
Scottish crooner.
And Eddie
Thank
Murphy
you.
says, hey, don't do that, you idiot.
Hey, don't do that.
And then he becomes a famous casino crooner guy.
Okay, so this movie takes place in the year, what, 2060 something? At the beginning.
It begins in 2080, and then it jumps 7 years. So
Okay, so it starts at 2080. But then they're like, well, remember that time 8 years ago? So I'm like, okay, 1 year before we started the movie.
Yeah, the movie sort of jumped all over the place. Here's the deal. I won't lie. I thought this movie was about Eddie Murphy being an alien, and he lands on Earth, and he's like goofy, fun alien. That didn't happen
different
at all.
movie. That is a different movie that he's
But that
in.
is a real movie?
That is a real movie.
Okay.
We will cover that in a few months.
Okay. Well, we all understand why I thought this would be the alien movie, right?
Of course.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Because its name is Pluto Nash.
Sure.
But it's just like yet another movie that doesn't know if it wants to be an action or comedy in Eddie Murphy's film Ouvra.
Oh, God, I have so much for you.
Give me your take. Come defend your movie.
I'm going to defend my movie that cost $100 million and made
This
$7.
cost $100 million? It looked like an indie film, low-budget Blade Runner.
Excuse me. Take your trash talk back home.
What if we did Blade Runner, but it was a student film? What if we did that?
That is rude. I was like, wow, look at all these practical sets.
Yes, that clearly looked like sets.
Yeah. I knew they weren't on the moon because I was like, hey, that's a set.
Yeah.
Yes, this movie cost $100 million and made a whopping $7.1 million at the domestic box office.
Womp womp.
Womp womp, indeed. A critical and financial failure, the film was universally panned by moviegoers and critics alike. It is notable for being one of the biggest box office bombs of all time.
John Carter's like, hold my beer.
I think that movie made some money, though.
This movie made some money. It made $7 million.
But this movie made single digits. I think John Carter made double digits. Let's take a look.
It's about percentages.
Okay. Well, you need to walk back your shit talk of John Carter. Budget, $306 million. That's a lot of money.
Could be more, though. They like to hide their numbers.
Of course. Box office, $284. Not good.
Not good.
Not awful.
Not
I
awful.
guess. It definitely put the director in director jail and made him make another Nemo movie.
But he got to make the movie.
He did.
He got to make... That's not director jail. He got to make another movie.
Well, I mean, so that was in 2012. When was the next Nemo movie? And that's all he's made since. Yeah. So, okay. So he's made one movie since.
I don't think Finding Dory was super popular either.
Oh, how wrong are you?
Really?
$200 million budget. Insane. Made $1.29 billion
Whoa!
for a movie
Was wrong.
no one remembers.
Yeah. Just like Dory herself.
Oh.
It was very avant-garde of them. They're like, we're going to make a movie you'll forget about as soon as you watch it. Genius.
Okay, so he is making another movie. No, it's going right to Hulu.
What's the main character's name? Finding Marlin? Finding Albert Brooks?
You know what? I wouldn't mind an Albert Brooks Nemo sequel again, but like really focus on the dad. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm losing my memory. I don't know. Work on it, guys. I'm not writing your fucking movies."
We can't do it all for you. But the director of this movie, did he get into Blair Underwood or whatever his name is? Did he get thrown in director jail?
This guy?
Yeah, whoever this director is.
I don't remember his name right off the top of my head. His name?
I know it's Underwood because one of the actors.
Ron Underwood.
Yeah, one of the actors called Sexy Robot. They were played by Lana Underwood.
Oh, his wife.
And I thought that wasn't a coincidence. Yes.
Oh no, sorry, child. His wife is Sandy.
Awkward.
His wife is Sandy. I fixed it.
Okay, so he's like, all right, daughter, you can play Sexy Robot.
Oh my god, you know what? So this director, he was on a run. What we like to call in the 90s, a run.
Okay. Blast from the past.
No, I don't think he made that. No, Tremors.
Oh, okay.
That's a Kevin Bacon movie, right? Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
that's an action, slight comedy kind of thing.
He made City Slickers. Ooh, Billy Crystal, big movie. That's $179 million.
Comedy, slight action kind of thing.
He made Hearts and Souls.
Don't know what that is.
Neither did America. They skipped it. Even though this cast, Robert Downey Jr., Charles Grodin, Kira Sedgwick, Elizabeth Shue, Tom Sizemore, David Paymer, Alfred Woodard. You know what? I'll give it a go.
That's the problem with that movie. That movie should have come out in 1988.
Robert Downey Jr. is Thomas Riley, a businessman recruited by the souls of 4 deceased people, his guardian angels from childhood, to help them rectify their unfinished lives, as he is the only one who can communicate with them. Interesting.
That sounds complicated.
And the tagline is, from the director of City Slickers. Not kidding. He followed that up with Speechless the next year, a Michael Keaton, Gina Davis movie.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Neither did America. They skipped it. Then he makes...
Wait. Michael Keaton and Gene, that movie should have come out in 1993.
It should have. I agree. Then he worked for the Disney company and he made Mighty Joe Young with Bill Paxton and Charlize Theron.
Yes, the ape movie.
Another movie America said skip. But you've heard of that one.
That one I've heard of.
Then he's given a 4th chance at the bat. You can tell this guy is white. He is given the Eddie Murphy vehicle, The Adventures of Pluto Nash, which we are covering today.
They were like, listen, we know this movie isn't good, right? Who do we want to, sacrifice to this?
Get the Tremors City Slickers guy.
That guy's not going to do a great job anyway. You might as well just fucking throw him in there.
Oh, you mean the guy who made Hearts and Souls? Who? Oh, Speechless? What? Mighty Joe Young? I think I remember that one.
Oh, the one with Brad Pitt. No, that's Meet Joe Black.
Oh my God, the same year.
Yeah, yes, I know. I confused them both.
He follows this movie up, though. He gets one more shot before he's told, get out of Hollywood, go back to your hometown. He's given the Usher Chaz Palminteri vehicle in the mix. Not kidding. Made $10 million. They did not list the budget.
Delightfully obscure career. Mm-hmm.
So we've covered the Ron Underwood's series now, so we're going to move on. He looks like a happy guy. He's 71 years old. He lives in Glendale, California. Good for him. He's got 3 kids, a wife. Wonderful. So, one of your main defenses Yes. Is this cast? I love the cast.
The poorly utilized cast? Go on.
Are you kidding me? Randy Quaid? We were talking about him.
You didn't even know it was the same guy. You thought...
I knew it was Randy Quaid. He's like second build in this movie.
You just couldn't put 2 and 2 together with the last name Quaid?
No. I knew. Hey, what are you talking about? I knew this was Randy Quaid. I just didn't know. For some reason, I have not put together that Randy Quaid was Jack Quaid's uncle to this point.
That's what's confusing me, because you've been on the Jack Quaid kick for like a month. You won't shut up about him.
Yeah, but I don't really think about Randy. I haven't thought about Randy since the 70s.
Yeah, but as soon as you see Randy Quaid's name up there, you're not like, oh, Jack Quaid, how crazy. I'm in such a Quaid mood.
No, because...
Give me a Quaid-lude. I'm good to go.
If you look at them side by side, you're like, they don't look alike now.
They definitely don't look alike. He doesn't even look like his brother. He looks like a weird, big, bearded neo-Nazi.
Yeah, what happened? We don't know.
Yeah, what the hell happened to them? Randy Quaid.
We got a nice, young, Rosario Dawson. Fresh off Men in Black 2. Another stinker. She had a rough year.
This is where everybody in Purgatory's going, funneling towards Pluto Nash.
We got Joe Paliano, fresh off The Matrix and Memento. He's on some hits.
And Sopranos.
Oh, yes. I think he's currently on Sopranos right now.
Uh-huh.
We got Jay Moore as Tony Francis.
Yeah, we talked about
a fun character.
Uh-huh.
We have a great cameo from Luis Guzman.
Greendale Community College alum.
I mean, he's coming right out of that kind of energy.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
He played a great Deus Ex Machina. You run out of people?
No, I got so many. James Rebhorn. We love James Rebhorn. You know him, right? Character actor. He was in Meet the Parents. He's in Basic Instinct.
I don't know if anyone loves James Rebhorn. I don't know if anyone knows who James Redhorn is.
Don't do that.
Audience,
to me.
if you know who James Redhorn is, write the cast at what the hell happened to them at email.com.
If you see his face, you're like, oh, that guy that fucks Michael Douglas around in the game.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That's who that guy is.
He's a that guy.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful that guy.
Don't worry, guys. This movie has that guy.
They have a lot of that guys.
It's all
that guys. Hey, it's Jay Moore. Hey, it's that guy. Luis Guzman. I know that guy. a great that guy. One of your guys.
Oh.
Peter Boyle.
Yes, Peter Boyle on one of the hottest sitcoms in America at this time, and you decide to give him no jokes. You do nothing with him.
And then he dies like this. Ooh.
Yeah. He has the same role he had in Taxi Driver. He's just this like guy who has information.
Oh my God, he's so scary in Taxi Driver. We got Pam Grier, 5 years after Jackie Brown, where no one's used her.
Yep, and she also wasn't super necessary here either.
She plays Eddie's mom.
Yeah, in 2 scenes, and she wasn't needed in either of them.
You know, they're only 11 years apart.
She did look extremely young.
Fucking rude. And everybody's favorite British asshole, John Cleese.
Who, yeah, clearly wasn't on set and clearly didn't want to be there.
Oh, you didn't think so?
Nope.
Don't be rude.
It might not be his fault. It might just be like he doesn't know how to act in front of a green screen. He hadn't done the Marvel thing yet.
Okay, so I've got a lot of development things to tell you about with this movie.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right. Neil Cuthbert's script had been in development with producer Martin Bregman since at least 1983 under the shorter title Pluto Nash.
I believe that. I believe this was a development hell script.
Absolutely. Since 1983. Since Eddie Murphy started acting.
Yes, for 20 years it took him.
Directors Rick Rosenthal and Peter Feynman were attached to the project at different times. Various stars, including Harrison Ford, were rumored to have been considered doing the film. Eddie Murphy became attached to the film while it was in development at Castle Rock Entertainment, the company which had previously worked with director Ron Underwood on City Slickers. Sent Underwood the script. Underwood signed on to the film after the release of his film Mighty Joe Young. He's like, I need a hit. Give me Eddie.
Shit.
I need a guaranteed hit.
They're like, how do you know it's a guaranteed hit? Haven't you seen all the films he's made in the 90s? And you go, oh, he made films in the 90s? What?
He's not tracking Eddie like we are. He's just like, oh, The Nutty Professor, huge movie. Oh, Dr. Dolittle, huge movie. And then while he's filming this movie, he's like, oh, Shrek, huge movie. we're
great.
Guaranteed box office like bucks.
They're like, oh, wait, we have this character that needs to also play another character. Eddie can do that.
It's true. Different writers were hired to revise the script over a period of several months, but Eddie Murphy kept rejecting the scripts, according to Underwood. Murphy asked for a straight script, like the one that would be written for Sylvester Stallone or Harrison Ford, and said that he would bring the comedy. Underwood, okay, for one thing, how many motherfucking times has Eddie Murphy said, I'll bring the comedy to your boring-ass script, and it's just been a boring-ass script?
I think I counted one funny thing he brought to the script. One.
I wasn't laughing, but I had a fun time.
How many did you clock? How many funny things did you find?
Oh, God. The movie I'm defending, remember?
Yeah, I know.
I like the scene where... yeah. That was a good scene. Remember that scene?
Yeah, that scene.
That was a great... You remember. You're on... Okay, we're moving on. That was a great scene.
Was he mad at Randy Quaid? Because if anybody was going to find something funny in this movie, it was probably Randy Quaid.
You know, when Randy Quaid is going after the other robot and he's like, me, horny. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. Or the robot keeps bending over. Was that an Eddie thing that he brought? He's like, all right, Miss Actress, who possibly is your daughter, why don't you bend over a lot?
I left her on oops. That was his line.
Yeah.
I was like,
Or like she's like the gravity the vacuum happens and like her dress flies off.
Yeah.
With like a sound effect like whoop. And
yeah, you're laughing.
Is it while I'm laughing at the director being there, he's like, oh my God, why am I doing this?
I made a monkey picture. Now I'm doing this Eddie Murphy vehicle that's going to be a big flop, because that's what everybody said on set, that this was going to be a big flop. Okay, let me get to it.
Okay.
Ron Underwood was dissatisfied with the results of the film as he was shooting it. I knew we didn't have the kind of wit and the fun that I would want. I felt that it was not really working fully, but it wasn't very obvious how to correct it. Get some writers, dude. That was the fucking problem.
They had like 9 writers to get it to this level.
You told them to make it a straight action movie and that Eddie would bring the comedy. No, you need comedy writers.
You're going to tell Eddie? Eddie doesn't give a shit. Eddie's got Shrek money coming in now. But this movie tanks. It's not his fault. He's going to get more work.
He praised the talents of the cast and crew and said that he enjoyed working with Eddie Murphy, but said that Murphy wasn't feeling that funny. I don't think.
So Murphy said, hey guys, I'm going to bring the funny. And then he gets to set and he goes, yeah, I'm not feeling too funny.
I'm not feeling the funny.
I'm not feeling all that funny, guys. Oh, Eddie, I see you put us in a bind here then.
Fucking asshole. What an asshole. The result was that Underwood was on production for 4 years.
Holy crap.
Because he went right from Mighty Joe Young set to this movie.
Oh, okay. But he wasn't working on this movie for 4 years? He wasn't doing a Kubrick thing?
No, well, I mean, hold on. A review of a version of the film with no special effects that was published on Ain't It Cool News in January 2001 did not help matters, as Castle Rock Entertainment became...
I'm shocked.
And commissioned 2 weeks of reshoots in Los Angeles that pushed the film's budget to $100 million and miss a release date intended to be in April 2001. My friend, this movie came out in August of 2002.
What could those reshoots have been? What did they add? What did they take out?
I have no idea. There's a Barbara Walters interview that Eddie Murphy did where he pokes fun at himself in the interview saying, I know the 2 or 3 people that like this movie. I think I would know that because I would have met Eddie Murphy if that's the case.
This is sort of an Eddie move, though, right? When his movies are bad, he calls them out.
Yeah, he shits all over them.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the movie. They paid me a lot of money.
Cop 2, Cop 3, I don't know.
I know I could have put more jokes in it and made it slightly better, but
About the movie's reception, Joe Pamliano said, you usually can't tell when a movie is going to be shit, but on that one, you could. And I think Ron Underwood, the director, got victimized by that, because that guy is good. But because of the material and then the style in which some players came to work, we were off the mark. Wow, he is taking shots at Eddie. We were off the mark, you know? A lot of hanky-panky going on there. So I wasn't surprised. I was surprised it turned out to be better than I thought it was going to be.
Wow. What did he think it was going to be?
He's like, this movie is lifeless.
Oh, who's Eddie hanky-pankying? Rosario?
It has to be.
Is she like 10 years younger than Eddie?
She's a lot younger. I don't know, but she's a lot. He was born in 1960 or 1961, and she is born 1979.
His character dates someone 18 years younger than him, and his mother is 11 years older than him.
Oh, Rosario's Dawson's birthday is in like 3 days.
So May 9th, for those listening in the future, May 9th is her birthday.
Director Ron Underwood expressed regret that the movie didn't have a core piece of storytelling like the midlife crisis, and said he thinks the film was not very good.
That is true. It's a very, very, very plot-focused. For a movie about a man fighting his own clone or trying to, like, run from a past and, like, restart himself, there was a lot of ground to plant some seeds, and they went, nah, we're going to do the comic book version.
Yeah, you know who else I forgot to list as an actor I like in this movie?
What?
Alec Baldwin. You want to know why I forgot? Because he took his name off this movie.
Yes, I was surprised to see him, having not seen his name in the credits at the beginning. And I'm like, oh, you think he would have put his name, he would have gotten one of those and credits with John Cleese.
Alec Baldwin said he disliked the film so much that he insisted on being uncredited. Most of the principal photography was complete by the end of 2000. Special effects and reshoots were added in over the next year and a half. Are you ready for this one? The work print version of the film ran nearly 3 hours.
What?
An Oscar-winning editor,
Walter Murch,
Alan Haim, was brought in to try and fix the film. At 3 hours, this man was told to cut this shit down. He was insane.
I just can't imagine how you had 3 hours worth of script to work with. I can't.
Well, what they did was they kept everything in. They didn't cut anything. They were like, "This is."
I don't know what do you cut? But even then, the director's saying the story never had any core. So you have 3 hours of plot. So now, like, we got to cut out all, maybe, like, some of that more romance plotty stuff, but Eddie didn't seem interested in her at all until the very end of the movie when they're like, well, we have to resolve this obligatory romance subplot.
We have to kiss because we are the two main characters.
Yes, we have to be in love.
After viewing the available footage, he determined that a large portion of the film needed to be reshot.
So not only does an hour and a half of this movie has to go,
It's going to be reshot.
half of the hour and a half you're keeping had to be reshot. So 3/4 of this film was unusable?
And whole new scenes added, including an opening and closing sequence. What? Tony Francis was added? Bring in Jay Moore. We need a ringer.
Yeah, they were like, we don't know how to get him to meet the bad guy at the end. The only way we can set that up is with a 10-minute prologue.
You know, I didn't mind it. I was in when that prologue started. I was like, okay.
Well, I was confused when we jumped 7 years, and then like another 20 minutes went by, and I was like, okay, so these mob people don't matter, and is Jay Moore going to matter, or is that just a fun background joke?
This movie is Eddie constantly running to the next set.
Yeah. Well, thank God they edited it down, or he wasn't going to be running at all. It just would have been like strolling to the next set.
Eddie Murphy ultimately financed many of the reshoots while the film languished in post-production writing and directing many of the new scenes himself. Wow. So he wanted to step up after, what was the first movie he did? Was it Harlem Nights?
Yes, Harlem Nights.
Okay. So he's like, I'm never directing again until I get to Pluto Nash, and that's the one.
Yeah, this is the movie I can save. Can you, Eddie? Like, does he just want to be an action star and is just never getting his chance? Even though he's gotten chance after chance?
Well, I mean, we just watched him try to be an action star. Do you remember? We just watched him try to be an action star.
I know, but even then he's like, why are you giving me so many jokes? Eddie, because you're the funny guy. What do you mean? No, I'm a serious action guy like Sylvester Stallone or Harrison Ford. No, Eddie.
Harrison Ford. Yeah, I guess he's an action guy.
That seems to be what Eddie keeps saying every time he wants a new script.
So after he went to go solve the problems on his own, you know, financing the reshoots, directing them himself, Eddie Murphy refused to promote the film at its time for release, and said that the money is the only reason why he took the role.
That makes absolutely no sense at all. I don't believe you. Your behavior does not compute. You get paid if the movie's released or not. I don't understand. If it was just about money, you're like, oh, well, sorry. I'm glad no one's going to see this thing. It only helps you for that movie to not come out.
Principal photography was hampered by constant bickering among Eddie Murphy, director Ron Underwood, and the producers, with Murphy often overruling Underwood and making on-the-fly rewrites, causing the film to go over schedule and over budget.
Yep, that sounds right.
Jennifer Lopez and Halle Berry were the first and second choices for the role of Dina Lake, but both passed. Berry declined. Filming schedule clashed with her wedding. And she was also, like, about to win an Oscar?
Yeah, like that was the reason. That was the reason. Well, I would love to do this, but I'm going to get married.
Oh, Eddie Murphy and co-star Alec Baldwin share a birthday. That's nice.
Yeah, okay. So does Eddie shooting himself, his clone, count as a kill count? Would we add that to the kill count, do you think, Joe?
I would. I'd like to.
Okay.
Bully did.
All right, so the movie took some big swings at predicting the future that apparently looks like a 90s club scene. But let's look at some things that maybe came true, since we're only a scant 50-some-odd years away from the movie. So, in the future, do you think gambling will be less legal?
No, I think it'll be more legal since that's the direction we're heading towards.
Since that's how it's happened in the last 23 years? Yeah, I think so. The Plymouth was a popular car in the future. Do you think that will happen?
No.
No, you know why? Because the Plymouth hasn't been made since 2001. The movie took so long to make that they stopped making the Plymouth in the middle of making the movie.
Wow. That's an incredible fact.
Do you think future $1 million bills will have Hillary Clinton on them?
Oh, fuck. How did I forget about that? That made me laugh, actually. I was like, oh, that is, that did not work out well.
A little awkward, yes. Oh, do you think Trump will be building properties on the moon?
Yeah, absolutely. If he doesn't own it by then.
Do you think in the future Alec Baldwin will be acquitted for murder? Oh, no, wait, sorry. We already had that one.
Wow. That is weird. That is also strange. Good points.
There was a guy who I worked at Eddie's Club at the beginning. Mm-hmm. The character's name was Miguel, and I was like, this feels like it'd be a great role for Arsenio. Why didn't you want to get him in here? Well, it turns out because the role was 30 seconds long. And the guy never came back. I bet all his scenes got cut in that hour and a half that's out there in the ether somewhere.
Yes, give us the
Give us the cons cut. The cans cut.
The cans cut.
Do you think they were like, nobody's going to know what Pluto Nash is? You got to add adventures there so they know it's fun.
He's having adventures, running through sets.
All right, so we'll add adventures and just hope no one sees the trailer. You know who else we had in here? The doctor lady in this movie was Frasier Boss's wife on Frasier. And a hippie lady that Drew Carey dated. I don't know what her name is, but she's like a deep voice Shelley Duvall.
That's funny. A deep voice Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, she kind of looks like Shelley Duvall, but her voice is very deep. Speaking of Drew Carey,
oh,
you ready for some Drew Carey music licensing weirdness?
Yeah, sure.
Moon over Parma, bring my love to me tonight. Guide her to Eastlake.
Well, my friend, I won't explain why, but there is going to be a party full of models at Drew Carey's house. But Drew Carey has faked the whole thing to go on a date with a woman. I won't explain how that all makes sense, but one of the recurring characters on the show is played by famous Eagles musician Joe Walsh.
Oh.
He plays like stoner music guy, so he comes in and starts singing a song about these models, a song clearly about the plot, written for the show, just performed by Joe Walsh. I had to cut that scene out.
But it was written for the show.
It was written for the
so
show.
Weird.
And I guess because it was performed by Joe Walsh, they cut. I don't know. I don't understand why that happened.
He retained all music rights to his own music.
Well, maybe they have the rights to perform recordings of the lyrics, but not for his particular performance of the song.
God, this is awful.
Yes.
Why do we do this?
Also at that party, there's a swing dancing section, and in the original show, they have that song, I think, that was in the Chicken Run movie. Do you know what the song I'm talking about?
Looking it up.
Do you remember the Chicken Run movie?
I remember the Chicken Run movie. I've only seen it.
Hollywood heartthrob Mel Gibson. It's like jump, jive, jump, jive, whale, jump, jive, fly.
That sounds familiar. Yes. So,
Anyway.
Flip, flop, fly?
Flip, flop, fly, maybe. It's something along those lines. It's some song in that vein. They can't do that. Just a different generic swing music. That one would be easy to miss if you hadn't seen the show a million times like I have. Then there was an episode I flagged from the very beginning when I realized they were doing this to the music. An episode where Louis, Oswald, and Drew all want to date the same woman, and so they turn it into a competition amongst themselves, and they do it via a football parody. So they have like Bob Costas and a bunch of football announcers like come in to talk about what's going on the show football-wise. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, they use the Monday Night Football music there. They're clearly not going to be able to use that.
Yeah, of course.
But they were!
Oh, interesting.
So I'm wondering, well, ABC had Monday Night Football at the time. I don't know if that's still the Monday Night Football music. Maybe ABC owned it and was just like, yeah, do whatever, Drew. We don't care. That's my best guess. I don't know. The NFL hates giving out rights to anything, and they love overcharging for everything. I just have to imagine there must have been some middleman way back when that alleviated that process. That's my best guess.
I think that's a good guess.
There you go. All right, so how else would you like to defend this movie?
It flies! This movie, because he's running from set to set, it flies by. And I get to see all these character actors I like. I wasn't bored. I was a little frustrated, but I wasn't bored.
I will tell you, for a movie with nonstop action, I was surprised at how slow it just kept going and going until suddenly they were like, okay, we're going to go chase the bad guy. And I go, what? We're just like flipping on a dime? Okay.
It slows down when there's like talking scenes and they're trying to like do some kind of like plot development or whatever. And then when they're like, oh, get to run away from these guys, they're coming after us. Like when like someone shoots through like a wall or something. They're like, run! And then it goes for another 5 minutes, and then we stop, and we do the same thing over and over again. But you know what? This movie's better than Showtime.
Oh, I don't know, Joe.
Rude!
Showtime, at least to me, feels like a real movie.
Name 3 other actors in Showtime besides the main 3.
Who cares? Whatever. I don't need to know the actors' names to make that movie better.
Because none of them stood in my head.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what? I'm going to remember for a while Randy Quaid's bald robot character in this, where he puts on wigs sometimes, and he's kind of funny looking.
I will definitely remember it too, and it will not be for good reasons, Joe.
Rude.
Let's go to the climax, huh? The action-packed climax where Rosario Dawson has like 8 shots of doing this. Somebody please save Eddie. You're right there, Rosario. You don't want to do anything. You just want to watch?
I wish he did more.
It looked like Randy Quaid was going to do something, some big robot beat him up. And then Eddie's just like, no, I got this, everybody. I have to do everything because I'm the... Like, that feels like something Eddie maybe forced them to change on set. He's like, no, I got to take me out. Eddie, it's so much harder when you fight yourself because we have to do all these weird... No, I'm going to do it, damn it.
The funniest thing is, as soon as they mention cloning and they're not revealing like who is the guy that's behind it all, I'm like, it's obviously Eddie Murphy. It's so clear it's Eddie Murphy.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I just forgot about the clone thing altogether. They mentioned it like once, maybe a second time halfway through. Ancillarily, just slipped my mind. It clearly wasn't important to them.
I know. I was like, they're building up to some guy, and it's definitely gonna be Eddie, and he's gonna fight Eddie, and they're gonna be like confused at which Eddie's Eddie, and I'm like, classic Eddie.
You even cheated that too, where it was like they're like, oh, by the way, remember this thing when you had your appendix taken out? You didn't want to ever mention that prior to this? Was this a last minute thought too?
He mentioned that.
When?
I think so. Am I being gaslit now by my own?
You might be.
Am I gaslighting myself? It was definitely in the movie. Don't you remember?
It's appendix? No, I don't remember it.
Because it was. No. I remember he said that at the end, though. You're right.
Yes, at the end, and I go, oh, it would have been nice if you had seeded that a little bit, maybe. And he takes his shirt off for whatever reason. You're like, oh, what's that scar? He goes, oh, I had my appendix out. Just feels like a very last-minute decision to have it be Clone Eddie.
I mean, it's a good out to get out of the scene.
Maybe Alec Baldwin was going to be the bad guy. And they're like, listen, we got to do some reshoots. And Alec's like, you know what? I don't want to be in this movie anymore. Sorry. Figure it out.
You know what? That kind of makes sense. He's like, I'm too busy being in the cooler in next year.
I saw the test screenings. No, thank you.
I'm about to have a career comeback. 30 Rock is a couple of years away.
Yes, and yet somehow that only made it harder for him to work after it was done.
Well, he's in The Departed.
He is in The Departed. That came out in 2006.
Yeah.
The year 30 Rock came out. Inconsequential.
I thought 30 Rock was 2005.
Okay, either way, he's shooting it before 30 Rock's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's just like, my life is over. Where's Kim Basinger? Is that who's married to? 30 Rock is, no, you're right, 2006. Well, he had a while to go. Because you got to remember, he probably shot that in like 1999 or 2000.
Yes.
His one scene.
And now he's hosting game shows. He's come a long way.
He is. And he's in Rust.
And he's in Rust, a movie nobody will see.
Kim Basinger, married 1993 to divorced 2002. She was like, I saw that movie you were in, Alec. Divorce. He's like, I knew it.
So Eddie Murphy has a contraband chihuahua. He's like, dude, I can sell these easy for $5,000. Dude, you're throwing around millions because of inflation. What the hell could $5,000 be actually worth? You know what that sounds like? Super early script draft.
You know, the one thing you probably don't want to do is open up the personal life part on Alec Baldwin's Wikipedia.
Uh-oh.
Fucking hell. Wait, that's the same age gap? Ew, and he's older. He's way older. Did you know that Alec Baldwin dated Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Nope, that sounds weird.
Alec Baldwin was born in 1957, and Jennifer Love Hewitt is born in 1979.
Heart wants what it wants, and what Alec Baldwin's heart wants is giant breasts.
Enough. Okay. On that note.
So let's summarize Joe. Here's why Joe is defending the movie. He loves the cast of people you recognize but can't name. And
what? Excuse me, I know Randy Quaid. I just forgot that he was the uncle.
All of the that guys in it. He loves all the that guys in the movie.
I love all the that guys.
He loves that every scene just comes at you and there's no real rhyme or reason for why things are happening.
It's good.
And He loves that there are real sets regardless of how good those sets look.
Yeah, they didn't look very good, but they were real.
Okay. But we like real sets, Joe, because the computer sets also look crappy. So when a real set looks crappy, we should also not like it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have to like one of these movies, so this is the one I'm picking.
But despite all that, I did also come in thinking this is going to be totally better than the Whoopi Goldberg dinosaur movie is what I'll say.
Wow, that's a very low bar to cross.
They had a lot of the same ingredients.
Okay,
These
I agree.
two movies.
I agree.
A lot of the same issues, these two movies.
A lot of the same costumes.
Perhaps. This one, marginally better. Well done, Eddie.
Marginally better than...
With all the money you put in and all the reshoots you did and all the reshoots the director did and all the stuff the editor had to cut out and tell you to reshoot and the delaying of a year and a half of filming and all the bonus special effects, you made a movie slightly better than whatever that Whoopi Goldberg dinosaur movie is called. Maybe Theodore Rex? I don't remember.
Yes. In 4 years, you can make Eyes Wide Shut, or in 4 years, you can make The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Which would you want, America?
I mean, no, they didn't want Eyes Wide Shut either, really, but they liked it for a little while.
All right, so... Yes, thank you, Lev. Going to our title fight synopsis.
Oh, yes.
My first question would be, who would you rather be right now, Eddie or Jim? But my real question is, why are both of these people giant pains in the asses on set? So it's really like, who's the least pain in the ass? Jim Carrey's not coming in and reshooting things, so I guess that's nice.
Yeah, but he's so...
They both would be calling shots on set, though, and it'd be hard to overrule them on any weird stuff they wanted to do.
So the problem that Jim, I keep hearing, has is that he comes, like, when he's on those more serious movies, he comes in with so much energy because he wants to be Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And so the directors just have to wear him the fuck out and, like, make him do, like, 60 takes, and then like on the last couple takes they're like, okay, now go, and then he's just so worn out that's when he's like, they're like, okay, now I get a performance.
Yes, the David Fincher method.
I believe that's what Peter Weir did, and I believe that is what Frank Darabont.
Okay.
They both had to do those things.
He also has the thing too where, like, because he has all this extra energy, he just like leaves the set and go do wacky things, like pretend to be the lady in the psycho house or whatever, right?
Yeah. Real weirdo.
So he just is like, yeah, doing his weird stuff. Eddie Murphy's coming in and like trying to boss everybody around.
It's becoming a real big problem for their movies because they're not working anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working a lot actually right now. Eddie's nonstop working, but like none of his movies are.
They're not doing well. I'd be interested to go back and look and like how much creative control did he have on the Nutty Professor? Because maybe it's a thing where like when he trusts the script and the creatives, the movies come out pretty okay, and when he tries to take over too much, then it becomes a problem.
I currently have Pluto Nash ranked at number 5 on my Eddie's right now.
I can't. I'm not talking to you about that anymore. Okay. Well, I'd like to thank Van Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping the sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Domino's Tricks, Every Pizza Now in a leather box. I'd like to thank Tubi for giving us Pluto Nash, though I'm not surprised. I'd like to thank my co-host, Joe Vekeman, for stopping by.
Thank you.
And I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar-sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
Van Allen belts around set. Please don't worry. Just don't worry.
What the fuck is this shit?
I would just give up.
Oh, look at that! I got so many books. Look at all my books.
It's so believable. I really think you're in a room full of books.
Why is this so shitty quality? My shoulder is like an iPod home.
Yeah, your webcam isn't very good, Joe, is my guess.
Oh, look at my studio apartment in my beautiful city home. Look at this.
Oh yeah, now you look like you're in the cast of Friends.
These are shit. Oh, my cozy home. Yeah, if I'm like a cam model. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, you're like at the club.
Yeah. What about the fuck? That's my house.
Yep, that's where you are. Sorry that is the truth.
I'm in Star Wars now. Watch, I'm in Star Wars. Whoa! Look out! Luke Skywalker! I don't know. I'm in a Star War!
I don't think we're allowed to be in Star Wars on this podcast. I think we'll get sued.
Yeah, I don't ever want to watch a Star Wars for the podcast.
The mouse will come and take a bite out of our cheese.
Oh, look at, I'm in Avatar Land. I'm underwater.
They just announced a whole new Star Wars movie. You're telling me you're not going to go see that?
I probably will.
You're telling me, man who went and saw the new Marvel thing, you're not going to go see that?
Hey, I told you. I have allegiances to certain actors.
All right, so when Sebastian Stan gets cast in this thing as like the villain or whatever, you're not going to go see it.
I mean, I'm more Florence Pugh than the Sebastian Stan, let's be real.
Okay, fine. Florence Pugh's over there. She's whatever. They're like, it's the new sequel to Star Wars. We know we got $3.4 billion out of you schmucks for the last trilogy sequel. That doesn't exist anymore. That was a waste of your time. We're doing it again.
Oh, I'm in a Hobbit land. Oh, I'm a Hobbit. Oh, Hobbit.
All right, let's just do the movie.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
I'm done.
You're done being a hobbit?
Oh, no, I'm still in Hobbit land, though. How do I get the fuck out of here?
I don't know. How'd you get in there?
Good question. Good question.
I don't know how the Google Meets backgrounds work. I've never felt the need to do it.
Yeah.
All right, let me drink the water.
And that's the one, Mav. Now that's the one.